Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Goblin Slayer. We just wanted to say we are 200 subs away from hitting our goal of 1,000 subs.
Actually, less than that. 196.
Oh my
exactly.
gosh, that's awesome. So, you guys may not know, but we've had a goal to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year.
Yeah.
We've got 2 months left and we're so close.
Oh.
We're super thankful for all of you and we would love it if you could share, shout us out and help us get across that goal line before the end of the year, and we would just love it. It would mean so much for the channel. We can start doing so much more. So it's just a little shout out, little promo we're going to be doing for the next little while, and thank you so much.
Yeah, I think I'd cry on camera, I reckon.
Oh yeah, it's going to be awesome. 1,000 subs is a total game changer.
Yes, so many years of making video content for you guys.
It's going to be so good, and we are, again, so thankful for all your guys' help.
Yeah.
But let's get into the meat of the topic. We are talking about Goblin Slayer. Very controversial. Hate it, don't hate it. Edgelord trash, not edgelord trash.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I've not yet seen it. I've been busy working on some other stuff on the side.
But I think that's a good thing, because I've seen it. I've watched the first 2 episodes so far, and you haven't, but you've seen all the, outrage.
I've seen all the news and outrage, so I'm interested to see just what your opinions are.
Yeah, okay.
So hit me.
Damn, I always start off, don't I?
Yep, you always do. You're the one who knows the most about it.
Okay, so I think we should just start off with the discussion about the R word.
Yes.
That scene. I don't want to say it on a video, because our video...
Content warning, we'll be talking about sexual assault.
Yeah.
So if that's something fresh with you, maybe avoid this.
Yeah.
So...
But all good. We'll get past that.
Yes.
Okay, but... Yeah, so the whole internet up in flames about it. They just hated it.
Pretty intense about it.
They didn't want it in that episode. It was unnecessary. Just before that, you see a guy get totally destroyed by the goblins.
Yeah, and it's more comfortable watching someone get brutally beaten to death than this. Which I guess is...
It kind of messed up in a way, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely...
I think this is, I saw a comedian even talk about this. It's like... Someone gets R-word, but then someone dies.
Someone's assaulted.
And no one cares about the person who dies, but they care more about the person.
Yeah,
it's like, they're alive still.
It's a horrific, life-changing event that no one should ever have to go through.
But we're not degrading it or anything. We're just explaining the difference between the two, which we shouldn't have to, but...
No, of course. Yeah. It's terrible, and the fact that it's... pretty much perceived as being used for shock value, so that people will talk about the first episode. In my opinion, I see that, and that seems pretty heinous and pretty unacceptable. As a, hey, look at our first episode, we have an anime that seems pretty cool, but we're going to drum up news about it by putting in something that's pretty horrific. And even though it does fit with the story, there are ways to do it. Maybe not in the first episode.
Yeah, I think
this is an intentional choice from my perspective.
It was, and it's just, I guess that's just what they were going for. I don't think there's going to be any more of that in the rest of the season, though. From what I've heard, from what people have told me, there won't be any more of that sort of stuff. I think it was.
This is all basing off episode 1, by the way. We've not seen further than that.
Well, I've seen the second episode actually. Awesome. Second episode was fine. It was less brutal than the first episode.
Yeah, I feel like they needed a breather.
Yeah,
by the sounds of it.
It kind of needed one. The third episode, is currently out, and which I want to watch. So we'll be watching it right after this, hopefully. But yeah, getting past all that, I think Gigak did a video on this recently.
Gigak did a very, very good video.
It was really. I'll put a link in the description. Go watch that. I think it needs to be.
We shout out members of the community.
I think that needs to be watched. He did a really good. Was it a satire sort of piece?
It was kind of a satire on all of the drama around it of either hating it or not hating it. The people that like it are all awful pro-sexual assault monsters. The people that don't like it are little snowflakes. Yeah, and it's not that. It's more nuanced than that.
I think people made too much of a big deal out of it.
They definitely made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
The problem is is it something that's overly common in anime? Because it's something that we're getting more used to in Western cinema.
But okay, so people bring up this, but there's been anime where they don't make it as apparent.
Is it?
But it is in there.
Is it a lot of older anime? Has it been a trope that sort of went away for a while?
Kind of there are anime. There are like. We can't just say this is the only anime it's ever happened in. And I'm not talking about hentai or anything. I'm literally just talking about anime itself. They've made mention to it. They've had scenes where it was apparent that it had happened, but this is like the first time where it was like right there.
You're kind of
like,
forced to watch.
Yeah. There's no actual... You don't get to see anything. You get the... It's pretty, like... It's pretty dramatic.
It's pretty brutal from what clips I've seen of it. But the thing is, it's sort of a thing in... Western cinema and whatnot and TV that it's a pretty big attention grabbing deal.
Yeah.
When you want something that is shock value, you do this, which is honestly one of the most heinous things you can do to another person. And I mean,
I get why people are so angry because it's like anytime that subject is brought up, regardless of murder, if someone's murdered, it doesn't matter. But if that happens to them, everyone pitchforks like let's kill this person.
Because it's hideous.
Yeah.
Like you need to live with those effects for forever, as opposed to, it's a difficult topic, and it's not something that we're equipped to talk about. But it is. Yeah. I mean, it's something that came into our sphere at this point, and it is something that is huge news and could damage a lot of perception of anime. It's either going to make people think that anime is getting progressive and hitting harder topics, and that's going to get people more excited for anime that explore and push boundaries, which is kind of already a thing. But it's also going to make people think that it's just gross male fantasy, which is something that so many mediums have struggled with, and it's worrying because we don't know which way it's going to tip, especially with only the first episode being focused on at this point.
Yeah, which is kind
as you said, it seems to tame like, down.
Oh my god, like it's seriously, if you just cut that part out, right? The anime is pretty decent. Like I didn't mind it. I loved the whole like methodical sort of thinking of the Goblin Slayer, and I even liked some of the memes that came out.
The action's like cool and brutal. It's berserk-esque.
A good meme where it's just like learning to count in Japanese, like by actually like teaching yourself, learning through like anime, learning through Goblin Slayer.
That's awesome, and that's the problem. It's a good anime with so much other stuff going for it.
It's got potential.
And people are focusing on this negative thing, and it's like kind of brings up the question of why did you have to put it in there in the first place? For shock, for shock value, or to drum up something in a project that maybe you didn't believe was going to get attention straight away.
True.
I don't know anything outside of it. There's probably a manga for it,
but
that has similar issues going on.
From the business sort of aspect, if they wanted attention, they got it.
They got attention. And publicity is good publicity.
And people who wouldn't have seen it and who will still want to watch it will then watch it. So it's nothing but a plus. They're people who made it were like, cheers.
Pretty much. They're rolling in attention and money, and people are going to be watching this closely. Yeah. There's going to be articles. It's the most free advertising they ever got. But it's kind of a gross way to do it.
Yep, it is. It's kind of like it's a really bad way to do it. Actually,
and it does detract from an otherwise good anime, which is a shame because it looks like it has so much potential to be something great. It's an issue that Game of Thrones ran into. Talking in the Western TV sphere, they had a lot of gratuitous violence. They had sex scenes. They had sexual assault. They had torture. They have everything that you can imagine, and it turned a lot of people off. But then people got used to that in the show, and they knew that was what the show was going for. That was the tone and the theme. It feels like maybe Goblin Slayer isn't so much sticking with that. It had brutal, and then, as you said, something that's far more tame.
More tame.
So, it's difficult and weird, but it is something that a lot of mediums have struggled against, and it's sometimes something that has to be talked about.
Here's the other part of the argument here. So the writer, they may have just tried to do this so that you would hate the goblins.
Yeah.
So that you would not feel like a bit of like remorse or anything.
That's definitely because there's a lot of goblins getting killed.
Yeah.
And that's something...
Even like he kills like child goblins, like the kids at the back. He's like, I don't want them to breed. So he just kills all those too. And people would have felt like happy because of that.
And that's something that artists and writers have talked about for ages. That's something that the creator of JoJo has talked about. He often has his villains kill animals or talk about how they hurt children. And that's very, very useful for an immediate setup of this person's a bad person. I mean, in the first season, we see Dio lock a beloved family pet in a furnace and kill it. And it's like, okay, Dio's a bad guy.
He is
I can see why there's a shock value point to making
asshole.
the goblins sexual predators that murder people.
Yeah.
I see that. And ultimately, it's not a bad way to do it. It's just very out of the blue.
Yeah, very out of the blue.
For a lot of people, especially since this was featured on Crunchyroll as, hey, this is new, you should watch it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of hype of like, this could be the new fall anime. Holy wow.
Yeah.
That was a big, big marketing push with no warning. And I think that's really what got people. It's so readily available and very confronting.
Yeah. But I think that's enough on that topic.
Yeah,
We've discussed it. Watched Giga's video.
We're not really in a position
we're
to
not
talk
in a position about we don't know that much. We don't console it. We don't like it.
We're just talking about what we've seen through, obviously, watching the anime and seeing the fallout from it.
No,
and
we don't like that one particular stuff. I think that was a bit much. They shouldn't have added it in there. It was unnecessary, unneeded.
If this is raw to you, or if it's something that has affected you, please talk to someone. Yeah. It's extremely important, and you're not alone. Anyways, we will be moving on, and you will see us in the next video. This is it. We're done.